Hey guys, welcome to week 11 of my value betting journey from 1K to 2K with Trademate Sports. As always, keep commenting, asking questions, subscribing, liking, all that sort of stuff. Any queries that you have, we're happy to answer them. We answer them all. So yeah, get on to that. In terms of the week in sport, another bad week for an Arsenal fan, which is no real surprise. But I'm sure we will talk about all that sort of stuff on the podcast, which will come out later this week. But here's how I went. So guys, as you can see, I've had a good week. My profits have gone up by about $84. But most importantly, I've hit a big milestone. My settled turnover has surpassed the 20,000 US dollars mark. So that's great. So I guess this kind of shows that Trademate is not a get-rich-quick solution, and that it does take a bit of time and persistence to get to this kind of point. So that's how much settled turnover I have at a rate of an ROI of 3%. So yeah, I guess I just really want to stress this week that it's not a get-rich-quick solution. And it kind of says a similar thing in this article that I have shown you before. So the 10 reasons why people fail with Trademate article. And it's similar if you look at the statistics here. So the 5K to 2K range. So most people are around that 3% average ROI mark. So I am sitting in mostly in the correct place. I want to take you down to this point here about having the right mindset. So don't sign up for Trademate if you're thinking this is going to be an easy way to get rich quickly. You have to be prepared for the ups and downs, as you've seen in my journey so far, whilst knowing in the back of your mind that in the long run you will succeed. So I guess the most logical question now is thinking, okay, so you've had $20,000 of settled turnover, but you've only made $604. Is that investment worth it? To that, I would take you down to point or reason number 6, and that's just not having a large enough bankroll. So I guess for me, it's worth it because if I look at my profit versus time ratio, I don't have to pay a subscription fee. So it is worth it, but for most of you, it probably isn't. So I guess the most important thing is that you have a large enough bankroll so that it is worth it for you. So I would recommend starting with a higher bankroll than I did and apply, I guess the easiest way to see where you would be if you did start with a higher bankroll is to apply my fund growth, which is 60.3%, to your starting bankroll, just to give yourself a rough estimate of what amount you should start with on your journey. So the other thing I wanted to talk about this week was some of the limitations I've had with a particular bookie, and no surprise, it's Betfair. So as you probably remember, in week 2, they sent me a weird email about some of the things that I wouldn't be able to access on the website, and it's gone a step further now. So this is just an example of what's happened to me this week. So as you can see here, I've tried to place $30, but they've said that the max size is $19.20. Worst thing you can do here is to place a bet of $19.20, as it basically you are pushing the limits, and that it's going to highlight in their system that you are trying to push the limits. So I guess what we recommend is that you place 60 to 70% of that max stake. So in this case, it would be something around $10 or $15 in here, just so you're not pushing the limits. But yeah, have a read through this article. It's very valuable, staying under the radar, and some tips of how you can avoid getting limited by soft bookies. Here are my trades of the week, guys. Nothing major to report on. Nice win here, $10 at $5.50, so I got a decent profit there. And biggest edge was good too. Got on at 220 and went down to 170 with Pinnacle. That's it for week 11, guys. Massive week in sports coming up with the return of the UEFA competitions. Some big games in there like Real Madrid, PSG, Atletico, Juventus, and much more. So check out the blog to see what games are on. Other than that, make sure you check out our podcast, like I mentioned earlier, where we'll break down kind of what's been going on in sport, and talking about some of the big issues in the world of football. But yeah, thanks for watching.